adaptive reuse, taking the old office buildings, turning them into residential units for sale and for rent, as well as new luxury apartment buildings that have been very popular. And so when you drive around downtown, you see so many cranes and so many buildings going up right now. Everybody is investing in downtown. There's a lot of momentum in downtown. But so far, after the financial crisis, there's only been one project that's been announced for sale today, and that's Metropolis. There's other projects that is getting ready to come to market. Most of them are still for rental projects, but there are a few here and there that want to do condominiums as well. But right now we are moving very quickly. We are the first step into the market, and we're the largest project. So Metropolis is actually the largest mixed-use development in California today. So bigger than any of the San Francisco projects, bigger than anything that Los Angeles has seen before. So when you look at a 6.3 acre site and 4 buildings, including hotel, shopping, you know, what comes to mind for me is like Pacific Place in Hong Kong, or Tokyo Midtown in Tokyo, Roppongi Hills, right? So you have projects of that stature and size that's coming to Los Angeles. Now, Los Angeles, most of us know when we have clients from Taiwan or from Hong Kong, they're looking for houses on Arcadia or for San Marino, and looking for that type of lifestyle. But really, there's so much more in terms of investment here in Los Angeles when the city is becoming much more dense and vertical. And the Ritz-Carlton was the example for that. A lot of us have clients that have children going to USC or would like to go to USC. We know that this USC neighborhood is not so safe. But here, this is a very controlled environment. You have 24-hour doorman, you have a lot like security, you have parking. You're always surrounded by activity, and it's very safe. Downtown is a very, very dynamic place to live. There's everything to go to with restaurants and shopping. So, you know, this really appeals to many different demographics. So a project of this size, like let me go through again. We have a 350-room hotel. This is going to be run by the Intercontinental Group, is the plan. The hotel flag is called Hotel Indigo. So Hotel Indigo is like, they have one in Shanghai on the Bund. There's one in New York City. It's more like the W Hotel for Intercontinental Group. So that is, you know, planned to be run. It's not finalized yet, but that was the developer's term sheet with the hotel. Restaurant on the ground floor, facing LA Live. The lobby has a restaurant. There's a pool bar. There's a top floor bar that's indoors. 350 rooms. It's a very grand entrance with a parking valet down into the subterranean parking for the hotel. Tower 1, residential, 308 units with a very large podium deck that you see here. This is the tower. This is the outdoor podium. The parking is directly down into the building, both underground and also 5 floors up. And each of the units will have its own assigned parking space in the building. Tower 2 is where we start seeing a lot more of the retail. The ground floor market, we're thinking about something like a Dean and DeLuca or Jones on 3rd, something small footprint, but high-end. There's a second floor restaurant, and then there's additional restaurants and health and beauty, as well as fashion retail on this side. So that is kind of the current plans for the retail. The lower levels here, facing downtown, will have balconies on Tower 2. This is a 40-story tower. Tower 1 is also 40 floors. And then Tower 3 is going to be 58 floors. So altogether, there's going to be 308 units here, 510 units here. And then this one is still being finalized in terms of its size, but it's even larger. So everything from studios all the way to penthouse 3 bedrooms are being programmed for this community. And then so back to the demographic, who's buying in downtown? So we talked about USC students. There are a lot of people like myself who purchased in downtown in 2005 who bought in one of these old conversion buildings where there's no assigned parking, there's no view, there's no clubhouse for amenities, and we're looking to upgrade. You know, so you buy 1,200 square feet, and it's all very kind of open in the loft. Like no defined bedrooms, only 1 bathroom, very simple kitchen. So this is almost the opposite of that. So there's a lot of people looking for high-end product now that is trading up in downtown market. And then you also have so many young urban professionals who are renting downtown who are able to now walk to work and be in the heart of all this activity by buying a studio or a smaller 1-bedroom. There's also the wealthy families from, you know, La Cañada and from San Marino or from Santa Monica who would like to have a smaller place downtown or Orange County. So, you know, all roads lead to downtown, all freeways lead to downtown. This is a very central space to have a property to use as a second home or as your primary residence and have your vacation home by the beach and such. So with what we talked about with the freeway access as well as the subway access, we all know our clients love like in Pangbian, you know, everything is very convenient. And so that's what, you know, buying in the heart of downtown LA offers you. And we talked about rental rates a little bit. And you know, downtown rental rates are the top, almost the top in the city because of the new construction, the amenities that everybody has been delivering. And so when you look at being able to take one of these, you know, 1-bedroom units, you know, I would say that about 780 square feet, you know, right now, today, I would think that when this building opens with all of the amenities, we could probably get about 3,500, 3,400 for this unit. Yeah. And then for the 2 bedrooms, for the 2-bedroom units, this would probably rent for around 7,500 or so. Yeah, for about 1,450 square feet. So, you know, the yield for investor is also very good when you're looking at buying not only for just the in-place rental income, but then also for the upside appreciation of downtown when we talk about all those different large projects and development that is coming within this area. And so there's not only the upside for macro downtown, but also when Greenland is developing such a large project, we are going to be selling Tower 2 and Tower 3 at higher prices than Tower 1. So, you know, I think that it's very exciting to be part of such a large development and to have the opportunity to, you know, discuss this with you.
Can I ask one question? How is the traffic system to go to LAX?
LAX is very easy. You just hop on the 110, and then 110, you actually take it all the way down past the 10. Go
to 105.
To the 105.
Yeah. Is there any public transportation, like Metrolink, go to or?
Yeah, well, Union Station has the shuttle bus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fly
so it's very
LAX.
easy to take that as well.
Yeah, fly to LAX.
Right. Yeah. So let me introduce Greenland first before I get into more about the project, because we talked about, you know, the location. So just as, you know, most important is where you're buying, and then we'll talk later about what you're buying, but then also as important is who are you buying from? Mm-hmm. Because you're buying pre-construction, you're buying on plan. This is the way they do it in China, in Hong Kong, in Taiwan, right? So Greenland is the second largest developer in China by volume of residential sales, by number of residential sales. last year. They're 30% owned by the Shanghai government. They're listed in Hong Kong. They have corporate bonds that are trading in the BBB plus range in Hong Kong. They have they have US dollar 50 billion in assets across the world. They are currently ranked as like in the top global Fortune 300. Okay, so that's their financial strength. In terms of their experience, they are also the developers or the builders of 4 out of the tallest 10 buildings in the world. Okay, in China, those buildings are in China. But outside China, in Sydney, Australia, they are currently under construction of the tallest residential tower in Sydney, and it's sold out in 2 days.
2 days.
Yeah.
By
Like,
you?
no, not me. Like, so they really built a lot of momentum to a launch, and then it was like a global launch that they just evaporated all the units. Yeah.
So based on the previous experiences, as we understand, you will begin the construction in about 2 months after you have obtained approval from BRE.
Well, construction is actually already started. I mean, that is all the excavation is done,
Okay.
all the shoring is done. They're looking to pour the concrete foundation and the
Okay.
garage in
Okay.
December.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
So the delivery of that first tower and the hotel together, and all of the podium and underground parking, is supposed to be end of 2016. End of 2016. We'll use that as the.
but you cannot begin to sell until you have the BRE approval.
Yeah, we actually, we are getting the BRE yellow paper conditional approval,
Okay.
basically this week. This week. So that allows us to write binding contracts.
Okay.
Yeah. However, the actual close of escrow will not be until we get the final report, and that will be upon delivery of the building. Right. So really, in terms of back to Greenland's investment here in downtown Los Angeles, so this land was sitting with entitlements for about 20 years. Different developers tried to do the project but never really launched it. Greenland actually closed escrow, bought the land in January of 2014.
Wow.
Closed escrow.
Mm.
And so within a year, they were able to change the entitlements to do the project they want to do, and then start construction and get everybody in place. Now, it's a big team effort. It's not just Greenland. So Greenland hired us, Douglas Elliman. Douglas Elliman were the largest brokerage firm in New York City. So we have 5,500 agents in New York, Miami, and now Los Angeles. And so one of our specialties, as Kelvin was saying, is to work with developers to position new buildings, floor plans, amenities for the market. So we represent buildings like 432 Park Avenue, like the tallest building in New York, residential building, and others like that. Gensler is the architect. Gensler is the same architect who is doing Shanghai Tower in Pudong, the same architect who did LA Live, and is architect for this as well as Tower 1. They also did City Center in Vegas, right? So we brought in an interior designer called Span. Span is from New York. They did a lot of our high-end buildings in New York, and they're doing this one. Tishman is a really strong name in U.S. real estate, Tishman. They are the construction manager, managing the construction of this project. And then also Webcor, one of the largest contractors. They built the Ritz-Carlton, and they're building Metropolis. So it's really an all-star corporate team, U.S.-based expertise that is partnering with Greenland. And that's the way that they're doing business here in the U.S. They're also doing this in New York, where Forest City was the developer who was had control and was developing the Atlantic Yards in Brooklyn for many years. It's right by the Barclays Center. in Brooklyn, but they basically just sold 70% of their land to Greenland for $4.6 billion. So here, Greenland is investing over $1 billion in downtown Los Angeles. In Brooklyn, they're doing $4.6 billion project. Yeah. So really about this, what do we have in Tower 1? What do we have to sell today? Okay. So really it's a lifestyle. We talked about like downtown living, and then I'm going to compare this a little bit to the Ritz-Carlton. Okay. What is currently the best product in downtown? The Ritz-Carlton is all one building with the hotel floors downstairs and the residences upstairs. So you do have the Ritz-Carlton branding and some of the services of the hotel, right? But when you go into the Ritz-Carlton, you don't own a parking space. You use the hotel valet to valet your car. You go upstairs, you have a beautiful pool, but it's the hotel pool you share with the hotel. Okay, you have a nice gym, not a very big gym, but you also share that with the hotel guests. Okay, and then you have great views. And then your HOA fees are very high in that building because you are sharing that common elevator core and maintenance. And so 1-bedroom HOA fees for that building is $1,600 a month.
Oh.
Two-bedroom HOA fees is about $2,400 starting a month, right? So you get a privilege of getting the Ritz-Carlton answer your house phone, and if you want to order room service, they bring you room service,
That's good.
right? But you still have to pay for the food and you tip them.
Do they clean your house as well?
Huh? You can order, but you have to pay the maid too, right? So, it's a lifestyle choice people do, for the convenience. This is not the method that we did here. So the hotel is completely separate, okay? The hotel is completely separate, but right next door in the same entry courtyard. Your guests can use the hotel valet parking if they want, and they can pay for it. But you also have guest parking inside the building, and then you also have direct parking spaces that you own, underground or in the top 5 floors. Okay. You have a 2-story lobby that entrance is only for residents, for Tower 1 only. It's going to be a very nice limestone and wood-clad lobby. When you go into the 6th floor is the clubhouse. So the clubhouse is also only to the residents of Tower 1. Tower 2 and Tower 3 have their own clubhouse. Okay? The hotel has their own pool and everything. So here you have 12,000 square feet. When you exit the elevators, there's 4 elevators. You have an entertaining kitchen with a dining room and a lounge area that you can reserve for private events that open out outdoors. Okay? You have a nice reading lounge. You have a TV room with like a PlayStation and different type of amenities that are more noisy, and then you can kind of close off this room with sliding wood panels. That opens onto the billiards room, so you have the pool table and different game room here, all facing the gardens. This is 11.5-foot ceilings, wraparound glass all the way around this building. Then you have a very large gym here with a big indoor-outdoor access, spilling onto a yoga room with a yoga garden. Then you have very large steam rooms and showers for both men and women, separate steam rooms, so that when you have guests who come for a barbecue or use the pool, they can really shower and change and not have to access your residential unit if you're in a 1-bedroom or a studio, right? Mm-hmm. You have a business center with outdoor seating. You have a printing station. You have a movie theater room, a screening room. And then outdoors, you have beautiful green space with barbecues overlooking the view that you see over there on the 6th floor, in the lower level. And then here, there's going to be a fenced-in area for a dog park. Because what we found in downtown is that there's more dogs than children. And so here in the dog park area, you also have a little station that I put in for, like, where you can wash your dogs. to give your dog a bath without having to put them in your bathtub, right? And then you have secondary bathrooms for the pool. You have a jacuzzi or a spa, and then a swimming pool with cabanas. So this entire footprint is 25,000 square feet, and this is 12,000 square feet of clubhouse. So all of this is only for Tower 1. So when you're asking what does the HOAs include, right? It includes all of this. It includes your gas. It includes your insurance. It includes your security. It includes your parking maintenance. And it may include water. We have to see if they're going to subdivide the water or not.
So gas is included
Yes.
for every unit.
Yes.
Water
And
may
trash.
be included.
Yes.
Trash is
Trash
included.
is also included. Maintenance, cleaning.
Which one did not include?
So the only thing not included would be your electricity, right? And maybe water if they submeter the water. Yeah.
And then listen to the fees. Very, very low. Very reasonable.
So the fees right now that the BRE has submitted, that we're working on getting finalized numbers, is about 98 cents per foot. 98 cents per foot. So that means for the smaller units it'll be slightly higher. For the larger units it's slightly lower than 98 cents a foot. So for example, like we were saying, a one bedroom at 780 square feet, that might be about $850 a month in your HOA fees versus $1,600 at the Ritz-Carlton. But we don't have those final numbers yet, but before we write contracts, we will have every unit's HOA fees completely, disclosed.
Is there only one parking included per resident?
So, and that's another beauty of this project is you own your parking space, and you're not owning it in the fringe warehouse district of downtown where land is cheap. You're owning a parking space in the heart of the city next to the financial district. In the two-bedroom units, you own two parking spaces. In the penthouse units, you will also own two parking spaces. So it's 2 levels underground and then 5 levels up, all parking, except for the 2-story lobby that's cut out in the middle. And then you have the 6th floor deck. And then all the residences start on the 7th floor. Yeah.
So all this just for building 1, right?
Just, we're only talking about building 1 right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the building 2 gonna have a separate.
Separate parking entrance, separate parking, separate clubhouse, separate layouts, different design.
So any storage?
So there is storage in the basement levels. I don't have the information on how big they are, but they will be sold as additional, additional licenses. Yeah, so not every unit will have storage, but you are able to buy your storage locker.
So you have to apply for it.
You'll have to basically apply for that with the developer.
Except property tax, what else tax in Los Angeles City we need to pay?
Well, when in new developments, there's very little extra tax. It's the same property tax. I think they have a little bit of a premium, so it might be closer to 1.2 instead of 1.1, but that's about the difference. Okay. The transfer taxes that you pay in a resale when the seller usually pays, I need to check with the developer. In new construction, most of the time the buyer is paying for the transfer tax.
So that's about 3.5%?
No.
I mean 3.5 every 1,000.
Something like that, yes. Yeah. I mean, whatever. I mean, the same city county transfer taxes, right? Yeah.
Any
Okay.
narrow routes?
Tax.
No Melrose. Yeah.
So everyone in Los Angeles, there is a transfer tax normally is $1.10 per 1,000, but here total is about $5 per 1,000. Okay, but normally it's seller pays for that.
Normally, seller pays in a resale.
In resale. Okay.
I need to double check on this, but every new development project that I've worked on is that the buyer pays because it's in the sales contract that is actually paid for by buyer. Yeah. So that's something that we can work out once we have the drafts of the contracts out. That hasn't been submitted to us yet.
So when you are selling the property, and then can you sell it together with the storage, or you cannot?
Yeah, once you buy the license or you own the license to that, then you will transfer that with your unit or. Yeah.
So deed it together.
I believe it will be a license that you have separately for that space. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you, other than the guest parking in the building complex, do you build additional parking for house owners to buy in addition?
I don't believe so. There will be very limited parking to just assign. Yeah.
How
But-
about internet access? Is it including in the HOA fee or?
I don't believe so. But there's free Wi-Fi in all of the common areas. Yeah, but not inside your unit.
Each unit?
Each unit.
How are they going to use the internet?
Well, it'll be all pre-wired for either like Time Warner Cable or DirecTV or things like that. So, but each person will have to pay their own internal Wi-Fi.
What insurance?
Fire, flood, liability. Yeah,
Earthquake? Common.
for the common areas. Yeah. So earthquake insurance is not going to be purchased. Now, in Los Angeles, earthquake insurance is very expensive, and the deductibles are very high. And so that would bring the HOA fees, jump it up another 25% or something. So it doesn't make sense. However, when your clients ask about earthquake, because I know a lot of our Asian clients ask about that, you can say the Ritz-Carlton was permitted in 2004. Okay. The rest of these downtown buildings and new construction was over a decade ago. Here we're pulling building permits today, 2014. That means the strongest earthquake standards, the most advanced curtain wall standards, the most engineered sound standards, everything, the UV standards, everything, the wind tunnel standards, everything is to the highest and most advanced technology. And so when you're building of this size, there's a lot of checks and balances to make sure the building codes you are working to is this will be the strongest building in Los Angeles when it's built.
What make it luxury except this entertainment floor? Like inside, do you have special amenities?
Okay, well the amenities, as well as the design, and I'll go through the units itself, and then also the views. Because the only reason to buy in a high-rise is when you're not, is for the lifestyle and for the views, right? And so when you're here, this office here gives you a good representation of the west, the north, the south views of this building. So here, this is north. Okay, this is north here. And actually, why don't before I go into this, I'll just show you the views on the screen. So before I do that, I have some renderings here to go through. This is a perspective of Metropolis when you're coming down the 110. Tower 3, 2, and 1. Okay. And then here is 8th and Francisco Avenue, the Angels, where the shopping. This is the entry courtyard to Tower 1 in the hotel. Technology never works when we want it to.
What is the Wi-Fi password here? Is there any Wi-Fi we can use?
I don't have it offhand. The
这么高没有讯号，所以他用航沙。2G 啊，很慢啊。你怎么会2G？我有4G 啊，不过这里只有2G 啊。 去买这个。
Okay, so I'll just pick like a middle floor, like a 27th floor here. View. So when you're looking west. This is the view. The Century City. And then you also have the 2-bedroom units face west and south. So the south view is down to LA Live, and the west view is here to Santa Monica and Century City. The other 2-bedroom looks west and north, so you're looking north here to the downtown view, and then also to west. Now the north view will be, we'll have the Tower 2 and Tower 3 in the foreground, but you'll be able to, each building is staggered, so you'll see the downtown skyline behind it.
Question: when the Tower 2 and 3 was ready, would that block the view of Tower 1?
Well, that's what, on this side, here, you will be blocked, in a way, you will basically have the towers are staggered, like corner to corner. So from the corner, you will be seeing the other tower, but in the front and the side, you'll still see through.
For this side.
Yes, for this side. And then the east side, is a very nice view of the downtowns as well. And then the southwest corner was very popular. This one, you get to see all of LA Live and that southern part of downtown as well.
There's one bedroom.
That's the 1-bedroom corner unit. So here, like when the architect did the layouts, and we spent a lot of time revising these floor plans, we created something that is very special to the market because you have a lot of different sizes that cater to the downtown user. You have very efficient 2-bedroom units. You have 2 master suites with walk-in closet, and then separated by a large corner living room with a kitchen with a view. You have an office with a view, and also a powder room, a half bath. So 2.5 bath, 2-bedroom plus office with a corner entertaining space overlooking the sunset view on that corner. And then on this side you have the smaller 2-bedroom, about 1,370 square feet, that has not the powder room, but just 2 bathrooms instead of 2.5 baths. And then for the 1-bedrooms, we have 3 different sizes of 1-bedrooms. About 780 square feet, you get a 1-bedroom, 1 bath with a walk-in closet or a eat-in kitchen. Okay. The larger ones are around 900 square feet. They are 1 bedrooms, 1.5 bath. So you also have a master suite and a half